In this video, we are going to be talking about the chakras for beginners, what the chakra system is, what each one of them represents, and how you can work with the chakras to increase your well-being. Please keep in mind that all of this information is channeled through meditation, although some of it is also from my experiences going through my spiritual awakening and trying to educate myself on the chakra system. But a lot of the information actually contradicts some of the things that you'll find out there, so just keep that in mind, that this is basically an opinion of mine based on my meditations. So if it resonates with you, then great, and if not, that's totally fine. My name is Catherine. I'm an energy healer, spiritual coach, and nurse practitioner. If you need personalized energy healing or spiritual coaching by yours truly, then you can visit me at my website at catherineglassman.com, or you can email me at hello@catherineglassman.com. So what is the chakra system? The way that I like to explain the chakra system is by comparing it to other systems of the body. Since I'm a nurse practitioner, it just makes it easier for me to explain it and to really understand it. So it's very similar to how you have the cardiovascular system, the respiratory system, or the gastrointestinal system. Well, you also have an energetic system called the chakra system. This, of course, is more spiritually based, and it's actually based from Hinduism. The word chakra actually translates to the word wheel in Sanskrit. So because this is more spiritually based rather than medically based, then basically the medical system is not going to acknowledge the chakra system. Although interestingly enough, if you Google the chakras, they actually talk about it on WebMD, which I found to be very shocking. Each chakra is like an energetic vortex that is aligned to the spine and goes up and down the entire body. Now, we're going to be talking about the 7 chakra system in this video, but there are actually more than 7 chakras. Not only do you have the 7 chakras that align to the spine, but you have chakras in your hands, in your ears, and even ones outside of your body. But since the 7 chakra system is the most widely known, we're just going to focus on that today. Now, what I've seen in meditation is that these energetic vortices are what the soul uses to communicate with the physical body. It's very similar to vortices or portals on the planet. In places where there are vortexes or portals, there are a lot of UFO sightings. And the reason why is because they use these portals to pop in and out of this reality. So it's very similar to the chakras on the body, except it's communication between the soul and the physical body. So when we have well-flowing chakras, then that means that there is good, clear, clean communication between the soul and the body. But if there is a blockage, then that will start to manifest as certain symptoms or certain behaviors that the physical body will exhibit. It's kind of like there's a dissonance between what your soul wants and what your body wants. First, we're going to start with the base of the spine, which is the root chakra. This chakra is associated with the color red and involves feelings of security, safety, and having a solid foundation in the world. It's how you feel rooted into the planet and into your body. Next, we have the sacral chakra, which is associated with the color orange. This is around your navel area. This chakra is associated with how you express yourself creatively. It's the center for passion and even sexual desires. The next chakra up is the solar plexus chakra, which resides right in the epigastric area. This is associated with the color yellow. And this chakra governs your confidence, your authority, and your power that you exhibit in the world. The next one is the heart chakra, which is located in your chest. This is associated with the color green, and it is how you express love. The next one up is the throat chakra, which is located in your throat. It's associated with the color blue, and this involves expressing your truth. The next chakra is the third eye chakra, which is located in the middle of your forehead. This is associated with the color indigo, and this involves your intuition, your psychic abilities, and just your ability to tune into the spiritual world. And the last, but certainly not least chakra is the crown chakra, which is located on the top of your head. This is associated with the color violet, and this is your connection to the divine source of all creation and to all that is. So if you haven't noticed already, these chakra colors are exactly the same as a rainbow. And interestingly enough, the colors that are found within light are the rainbow, colors of the rainbow. And what I have found in meditation is that if you can express all of these chakras in a balanced way, then you ultimately create this crystalline energy or this light body energy. So it's cool that science can find the colors of the rainbow within the color of light itself. And if you just express all of your chakras, which are the colors of the rainbow, you become a light body. And by light body, I mean like an enlightened 5D consciousness kind of expression. And, enlightenment or 5D, these aren't necessarily destinations, but rather a frequency that you tap in and out of. And when you do tap into it, you want to try to pull that into the third dimension so that you can anchor in that kind of energy. What I also find pretty interesting is that the chakra system actually aligns pretty closely to the psychology theory of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So if you look at the triangle, it looks pretty close to the chakra system, even what they all represent. So it's kind of fun to see science and spirituality blend together, because I've always believed that science and spirituality are actually best friends and they're not enemies. What is often displayed in diagrams of the chakra system is an anterior aspect and a posterior aspect of each chakra. So typically the root chakra will be pointing down to the earth, and the crown chakra will be pointing up to the sky, and the rest of the chakras will have a front and a back vortex. The anterior aspect of the chakras represent more of like the positive parts of that particular chakra, whereas the posterior aspects of it will kind of indicate more of a negative aspect to it. For example, let's say it is your heart chakra that is being activated for whatever reason. The positive aspect of the heart chakra will be you expressing like an unconditional love and really expressing yourself from your heart. But the posterior aspect or the negative aspect will be how you experience having your heart broken or having to suppress your love for someone because they don't feel the same way about you. Of course, the anterior and posterior aspects of it are easy to see as a diagram, but when I meditate on the chakras and what it appears to be in the body, it doesn't actually look like an anterior and posterior necessarily. I think it just looks like that in diagrams to kind of simplify it. But what I see is really happening is that there's just a constant flowing. So it almost looks like a torus field, and it goes up and down in your chakras, and then they come out as well. So that some of them will go up, some of them will go down, and just kind of create like a donut sort of effect. But they don't flow in any particular direction. It's very similar to the way an atom looks when electrons are flowing around the nucleus. So they find that it's not just flowing in one direction and you can't really trace it, but rather it's just appearing from place to place. So that's what it looks like to me when you see the chakra system on a body. It's just energy free flowing constantly, and you can't really keep track of like which direction each thing is going. But again, I think for some of these diagrams, it just makes it a little bit more simple to kind of understand. So why should you even care about the chakra system? If there is an imbalance or a blockage within one chakra or any of the chakras, then it can help explain why you may have certain behaviors or why you can't just break through some sort of pattern. Any blockage or imbalance can actually show where there's dissonance or a miscommunication between what your soul desires and what your physical body is doing. For example, if you have a blocked throat chakra, which is something that's pretty common among starseeds and people who are going through a spiritual awakening, what might happen is you just don't want to express yourself and express your own truths. So instead, you decide to suppress your truths and you choose not to talk about the things that you want to talk about. If someone is in a relationship and they feel like their feelings constantly get hurt by something that their partner does, but instead of actually communicating it, they suppress it. This will actually look like a blocked throat chakra, because what your soul wants is to express your needs, but rather your physical body is not doing it, and therefore it's not honoring what the soul actually needs. Another example is if you feel like you have this creativity that you need to express, but you're just not doing it. This could probably indicate a blocked solar plexus chakra. Your soul wants to paint or dance or do something very artistic and be very creative, but your physical body just isn't doing it. If you were to go to a Reiki practitioner and they were to tell you which chakras were blocked and which ones were free flowing, then usually when they tell you that there's a certain chakra that's blocked, it comes to no surprise by the person getting the healing, because they already know that they are lacking in that particular chakra. But these are really important things to be mindful of, because if those chakras remain blocked for too long, then that will manifest as physical symptoms. What are some symptoms of blocked chakras? Well, I think the most obvious symptom would be a dissonant behavior compared to what you deeply feel is right. So if I am choosing not to talk about spirituality or to be my weird spiritual self, and instead I just keep quiet and don't talk about it and don't express these things and just surround myself with people that don't really know or care about that side of me, then I am suppressing my throat chakra. And I'm probably actually suppressing my solar plexus chakra as well. But just to make it easy, we'll say the throat chakra. So deep down, I can feel what I need to do to just feel at ease and at peace, but I'm not doing it. And so that behavior is telling me that there is a blockage within that chakra. So to me, that is probably the most obvious, is that you can actually feel what you should be doing and see that you're not doing it. Interestingly enough for me, I think I've had this probably my entire life. I've always had like weird ideas and wanted to talk about weird things, but I was never in a space or around people that were open to hearing about it. So naturally, I just kind of kept quiet so I could just fit in with society. And when you know it, I have a thyroid issue. Now, does that mean that my thyroid issue came from this? Maybe not necessarily. It kind of feels like it has something to do with it. This is the reason why I decided to get on YouTube, is because I knew that there was just a part of me that needed to express some of these ideas. And I mean, I do feel better. Another really obvious example is when you have your heart broken. If you've ever had your heart broken and had literal pain in your chest, that's because your heart chakra is being activated. Ooh, I have another one, a good one. Have you ever meditated and tried to focus on your third eye and literally start to feel a tingling in the middle of your forehead? I used to get this all the time when I started meditating during my spiritual awakening. And I mean, I still get it, so it doesn't bother me or surprise me, but I remembered being so freaked out when that would happen to me. A new one that I learned actually during this meditation to channel this video is that when you get butterflies before you do a public speaking event, it's because you are actually activating your solar plexus chakra, which is right where your stomach is. This is because when you speak in a public manner, you're expressing your authority and you're showing this power and confidence when you do it. So that's new. I did not know that, but it makes complete sense to me. Of course, that's coupled with the throat chakra. So naturally, in a lot of situations, you're going to be activating multiple chakras all at once. And hopefully the goal is that you're activating all of them in a free-flowing way so that you can become enlightened or have a light body. So how can you start working with the chakras? I would say that the best way is to just really start to educate yourself on each chakra and just read books or look up things on the internet to kind of just educate yourself about each chakra. I'm going to be making a video on each chakra, but of course, all of those are going to be just my opinion based on my meditations. So I definitely wouldn't take that as just the whole and full truth of anything. It's really good to just try to find as many answers as you possibly can on one subject. But there are lots of resources out there: books, videos, meditations, yoga poses, mudras. There are certain colors that you can wear. There are certain foods that you can eat. And you may even find yourself subconsciously wearing a certain color because your soul is trying to tell you that chakra needs to be worked on. I decided to wear green as a conscious decision for this video in particular. The very first book I read was called Chakra Meditation, and it's written by Swami Saradhanhata. This was actually the first book that I read when I heard voices for the first time during meditation. So it's a really good book. It's got a lot of resources in there in meditations and yoga poses and things like that. It's very beginner level, so it's perfect. But for now, during your next meditation, you can just imagine all of the colors lining up in your spine, and you can just imagine them flowing outwardly and freely and at a decent speed, and just seeing like a beautiful rainbow color just up and down your body. I'm really glad I made this video because it was a reminder that I need to connect with my chakras more, because I think after you are in your spiritual awakening for long enough, you kind of, all of these ideas sort of get put on the back burner, and I don't really focus on them too much, but this video just reminded me that I really need to do some chakra work. And as a matter of fact, I actually have crystals that are associated with each of the chakras. So what I'll do is I'll sometimes just lay down and put that particular crystal on whichever chakra I'm trying to work on and just meditate. And yeah, I love crystals. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Consider subscribing, and I will see you next time.